Cybren! What a pleasant surprise. Thank you for joining me. As you can see, I just finished a productive meeting with my Guardian friends. I was showing them my terraformer. It's a magnificent piece of machinery, don't you think? I have learned much about it since our last encounter. Let me demonstrate.
What was that?
It would appear Commander Gage has also learned how to operate the eco-synthesizer's propulsion system.
Wonderful. Where are we?
We have traveled all the way to Altair 2. I do not believe this planet is in immediate need of terraforming.
I need to stop Gage before he destroys the planet.
Indeed, but it appears that Commander Gage has done more than merely activate the eco-synthesizer's launch sequence. He has accessed what appears to be an extremely powerful quantum field, which is protecting his ACU and parts of his base.
His field must have a power source.
It appears to be linked to 4 structures, yes.
So if I destroy the structures...
The field may or may not collapse, yes. However, I must warn you against this action, as this may damage the eco-synthesizer.
Are there any other options?
I will need to consult the data.
We're out of time.
The Guardians gave me access to some of their fine experimentals. Dr. Brackman could learn a thing or two from their designs.
New research options are available.
That I can't even remember committing all of these so-called monstrous acts after a few days. Your father has trained you well. Bravo!
I have decided to grant you access to all existing Cybren technology.
It's about time.
Do not be ungrateful. I do not believe your weapons can penetrate these shields, Ivan. You will need to get underneath them, closer to the targets.
The first power source is disabled.
I remain disappointed that you have chosen this approach, Ivan, for all of the technology on this eco-synthesizer is precious to me.
I can see what you were doing, and it's only going to make Shiva angry.
The Cybren Rex experimental is the culmination of my experiments in adding organics to our Cybren forces. This glorious creation can be constructed at an experimental land factory.
I am enjoying all of these Illuminate and Cybren experimental units. It's a beautiful synergy between factions. Why would you want to damage this monument to the wonder of technology?
The Universal Colossus is a majestic unit, don't you agree?
Not when it's firing at me.
Protects me.
It would appear that Commander Gage is correct. Your weapons cannot do any damage to them until you have disabled the field.
Oh, this isn't good.
Indeed. The Illuminant Darkanoid is a formidable experiment. You need to address this threat quickly and efficiently.
Kind of Cybren would even think of doing some of the things you've done.
How do my atrocities compare to those?
Second power source is down.
Be careful, Ivan. Think of what we can learn from this technological marvel.
One more to go.
Think of how many lives could be saved by the Shiva technology.
The final power source has been destroyed. Yes, the field is shut down and Gage is finally exposed.
I warned you about making Shiva angry, Ivan. The rest of its defenses have come online.
Fascinating. The eco-synthesizer has a number of locations on its surface that are producing some sort of defensive mobile unit. I would very much like to study these units. Please secure one.
That isn't going to happen. They're inbound.
Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected.
Commander Gage, as a Cybren, I feel compelled to give you the opportunity
This
to
is the
surrender.
end of the story for you. And the beginning of an even bigger adventure for me.
Gage is down. Gage is down.
Excellent work, Ivan. Very efficient. Oh, yes. synthesizer is under our control. What's left of it, at least.
This is only the first of many battles that will be fought to control Shiva.
Ivan, man will invariably create technology that will lead to its own downfall.
If we can foresee this in advance, don't we have an obligation to stop it?
You can't stop progress, my child.
Which is exactly why no one can be trusted with the power of Shiva.
My boy, your defiance is troubling. You must turn over the eco-synthesizer to me.
No, I can't do that. I'm destroying Shiva.
I am most disappointed with your decision.
Destroying Shiva was the only option.
Very interesting. Your actions illustrate a significant flaw in the proto-brain implant and algorithm. This will require additional research and debugging.
I want to thank you for this opportunity to address the Senate and my fellow members of the Coalition. We have fought each other for millennia, but these conflicts must come to an end. The events of the last few months should serve as a reminder of the fragile state of our alliance. Many of us have traveled down different paths, and some of us have gotten lost along the way. But we need to unite and help our wayward brothers and sisters return to the right path. Let us mourn those who made the ultimate sacrifice, but not forget to celebrate the living. For we are not Cybrens, Illuminate, or UEF. We are families, men and women, old and young, more alike than different. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are at the dawn of a new age, one of unimaginable potential. I look forward to what happens next for all of us. Thank you.
Stay till the end.
risks.
I am well aware of all potential issues with the proto-brain technology.
But you've never done it to yourself.
My child, where is your sense of curiosity? Your desire to peer into the unknown?
Aren't you concerned about...
Commence the proto-brain initialization sequence.
Yes, Dr. Brackman. I won't fail you this time.
This is quite interesting. Commander Gage, are you ready for a new adventure?
Operation completed.